Hello everyone and welcome to the first Train Tomorrow 2 Rush Hour Roadmap coverage video. I will be going over the most important Rush Hour updates given on the roadmap and the roadmap stream. Before we get into the video, I'm going to ask that all of you like the video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the video and you haven't already. Let's get into it. To start off the video, let's talk about what will be coming with TSW2 Rush Hour when it releases. On today's roadmap, the updates and fixes that will come with the Rush Hour update were revealed and clarified. Starting with the Bakerloo Line's improvements, we have London landmarks for console, speed limits triggering at the front of the train, and preservation crew focus. Moving on to East Coastway, we have platform departure boards. Next up, we have West Somerset Railway, which will see focus from the preservation crew. And finally, for main Spessart Bond, we have upgraded track rendering, platform edge climb up functionality, platform departure boards, localization improvements, and fixed holes in the environment. Everything else that will be released alongside Rush Hour include the core TSW2 update, the Rush Hour update, the Unreal Engine 4.26 upgrade, the passenger upgrade, Immersion Controls improvement, track IR support, and a gradient profile information screen. As you can see here, many of the improvements Adam and his team have been working on for a long time will be releasing alongside the Rush Hour update. This is both a good and a bad thing in my opinion, as I feel like some of these updates should have been released a long time ago, like some of the East Coastway upgrades that has just been sitting there since February. On the good side though, it does mean that all players get every update at the same time instead of having to download several updates. Because of this though, Adam stated that there will be a large update file for players that own a lot of routes. He also did say that they will be attempting to improve the rate of release, releasing more updates in quicker succession. Apparently, the pause screen is getting a redesign with the release of Rush Hour. Matt showed the new design on stream, and here it is. Note that this is an artist impression, and the final result may not look exactly like this. This shows upcoming speed limits, gradients, and overall more information about what is coming up while you are operating along the route. Mainly, this is to combat the current HUD not showing speed limits that are behind one another. Instead of being tricked, as Matt explained, by a high speed limit followed by a lower one, looking at that display on the pause screen could alert the player to the lower speed limit, so instead of speeding up for the higher speed limit, they are ready to slow down for the lower one. After talking about the pause screen, they moved into talking about immersion controls and how they are attempting to improve it. Matt explained that they will be implementing shift buttons. This means that they are effectively adding more buttons to the controller by having the player hold a shift button. In this case, square of the PS4 controller to allow the player to use another button to activate another function in the game. For example, without holding the shift button, R1 and R2 are the acceleration and brake buttons, but by holding the shift button, those buttons can now control the AFB on German trains. Functions they have added to the controller via the shift button include multiple horn tones, zoom on the external camera, and even sanding. Players may also be able to use the shift button to end LZB without looking down at the actual button in the cab, making it much easier to operate certain trains in the game. One of the improvements made to the Preserved Collection when it comes down to immersion controls is that the tutorials will not lock you to the classic controls anymore. Upgrading to Unreal Engine 4.26 allowed for a lot of changes to the core game. This includes the ability to have a dedicated next-gen version of the game for PS5 and Xbox Series X. There is also now the ability to select specific layers for routes to have them. This could help out players who want to activate layers on routes like Abstract Munich to Augsburg. Since they are now able to have that dedicated version, players using the newer consoles will be able to have a comparable experience to that of the PC version. Even though they can have a dedicated next-gen version, they will not be abandoning the previous generation. They will still be releasing routes on the previous gen. TSW2 Rush Hour is set to release later this summer for $29.99 USD and £24.99. Thanks for watching this recap of today's Rush Hour roadmap. If you enjoyed this video and you want me to cover more information on TSW2 Rush Hour, like it, and if you are new to the channel and you haven't already, subscribe to the channel for more content. Peace.